Let's get to Pain Hustlers. It was in theaters last week, but it's going to be on Netflix Friday, October 27th. And it centers on Emily Blunt. She plays Liza Drake, and she's a single mom, blue collar. And we catch her at the beginning of the movie. She's working at a strip club as a dancer. She needs to make money. Lo and behold, she meets a pharma rep, I guess pharma sales rep played by Chris Evans at the strip club. And they get to talking, and he gives her an opportunity like, hey, come work for me, and you're going to start making a lot more money than this joint you're working in right now. She follows suit because she is a single mom with a daughter who has a medical condition. Her daughter is played by Chloe Coleman, very good in this movie as well. Everyone's pretty good in this movie. I like how Chris Evans, aka Captain America, he is the second in command, the second lead in this movie, but he's really not a lead. He doesn't have as big of a role as you would think when you think Emily Blunt and Chris Evans. It's not an Emily Blunt and Chris Evans movie. It's an Emily Blunt headline film because it really follows her journey from becoming a blue collar single mom to becoming a white collar pharma sales rep. And from this vantage point, you get to see the whole either corruption, you can either say corruption or the capitalistic nuances of this pharma industry. You get to see it through her eyes. And this movie is inspired by a true story and it's based on the book by Evan Hughes, Pain Hustlers. The movie is getting slightly mixed reviews. Bruce, did the flash and dash, as well as possibly the education of Pain Hustlers, work for you, or was it an empty caloric experience?
Leaning more towards empty caloric experience. I just kept thinking Wolf of Wall Street light. It's not the same subject, but it kind of tries to play in that same space. This kind of this story we've seen versions of before, right? The rise of somebody in a semi or totally shady endeavor and how they kind of build an empire, the rise and fall. It's like, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street meets Scarface with none of the bite of either of those. And I didn't even like Wolf of Wall Street. This is kind of that, once again, that perfect storm of a Netflix movie. Decent performances, decent production values, entertaining enough. Like, this is one of those kind of movies you could show your somewhat open-minded mom and have an okay time watching it, but it's definitely empty calories for me. Like, I watched this less than a week ago and I've forgotten a good chunk of it. I do remember being kind of distracted by Chris Evans' performance. It's a little try hard.
Try hard, over the top with the accent and
Yeah,
everything.
I think he's been doing that on lately on his side projects that have been on Netflix. He's been really trying to be different kind of characters. I don't know if he has that much in him. I don't really know if he's quite that flexible. He's likable enough, but I think he's just trying a little hard. You know, I think you just be what you are and do it.
Movies directed by David Yates. Sorry, Bruce. Movies directed by David Yates. He's best known for a bunch of Harry Potter movies, a couple of those Fantastic Beasts films. This movie, actually, Pain Hustlers, I don't know much about the pharma industry. I haven't seen Dope Sick. I'm not a big reader. I did watch the Netflix series Painkiller, gave me some added value. This movie, on an education level, gave me some added value about how doctors can, by writing some scripts, they can be part of a speaking engagement to no matter what place in the world you are and get paid for their speaking engagements. And that's how some of these doctors made their money on writing these scripts for a lot of these pharma companies. It's sort of you get to sort of that corruption stuff in Pain Hustlers. I thought that was value added, but sure. I have to agree with you, Bruce. Emily Blunt is very good in the movie, but other than that, I just felt like this was I
liked her daughter too. I liked her daughter.
Daughter was great, but the ending has to pack a knockout punch, and it just goes by the book. It's just so predictable what's going to happen. I just saw that coming a million miles away, and the way it's shot and done didn't leave an impact. It should have.
And it also tell me what you think about this. So it takes something that is really serious for a lot of people. The downside of what they're doing is super serious and super dire for a ton of people, and it's taken with a real light touch. And I think that's kind of a problem with this movie too.
I think the light touch is maybe a problem. I just don't feel that the light touch didn't work for me. That's
what I mean. Like it wasn't hard.
It wasn't funny.
It became just kind of like, what are we supposed to? So we're just kind of following her, and it's kind of just this rise and fall, and it's like, yeah, okay. It's just like it didn't really do much for me either. Too. I will
say this just for the education level. The Emily Blunt performance, and like you said, the daughter played by Chloe Coleman. This gets a mild recommendation, meaning if you're looking for something to watch on Netflix and you said the words entertaining enough. For me, entertaining enough is 3 stars. Mild recommendation for me for Pain Hustlers. Your rating, Bruce?
I'll probably go 2.5 because I guess the measure I would give this is if I started watching it, would I keep watching it? And I probably wouldn't. I'd probably fade away from it. and not come back. So 2.5.
Yes. Okay. So
Sorry, it's true.
you're giving me a lot of pain hustling this week, Bruce, on that. Okay. So again, tell us what you think of this Netflix film. Thanks again, Netflix, for the screening links for me and Bruce.
This is Cinematics.